Okay, so this video covers chapter 1 in the textbook, which is Introduction to Biology. So the study of life is classified into a hierarchy of life, which goes from the biggest organizations of life down to the smallest organizations of life. So over here, we'll start from the bottom. And so molecules are the smallest part of life. They can't live on their own, but they make up cells, which is the smallest functional unit of life. Those cells make groups of cells, which are kind of known as organ systems. And then these can be tissues, organs, or organ systems. These make up an organism, which is one singular part of a species, one individual living thing. Multiple organisms make up a population. Multiple populations make up a community. And then a community added on with things that are not living, like rocks and water and stuff, does make up an ecosystem. And then multiple ecosystems make up the biosphere, which is all living things on Earth. There's two types of cells in biology and life. A eukaryotic cell has a DNA-containing nucleus and other membrane-enclosed organelles. That's to your left. That's an animal cell. Prokaryotic cells have no nucleus and lack many organelles that the eukaryotic cells have. Those are bacteria and archaea. Genetic information is very important to biology. That's pretty self-explanatory. DNA holds all the genetic information that is important to biology. That's on the left, and it is made up of adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. That sequence of those pairs is what makes you unique. Gene expression is the entire process by which the information in a gene directs the production of a cellular product. Energy flows through an ecosystem, and that is shown in the picture. Producers, the plants, convert energy from sunlight to chemical energy. These consumers gain that chemical energy, but they only get 10% of it. But because the 90% that they don't gain is lost to heat in the environment. The chemicals up at the top, these chemicals cycle between organisms and the environment all the time. Organisms interact with each other in their environment, and this is just one of the ways that they interact with each other. These interactions can be mutually beneficial, mutually harmful, or where one is benefited and the other is hurt. Humans have a large effect on the environment and can cause climate change, and that's studied later on. Evolution accounts for the unity and diversity of life. After evolving from a common ancestor, organisms can be classified into three main domains: eukarya, bacteria, and archaea. These changes that caused all these different species are because of Darwin's proposed natural selection. We just talked about that, so if you don't really understand it, you can go back in your book and look at that one. Each species is just one branch on the phylogenetic tree of life that is shown here. We all came from a common ancestor, and all the species are shown in the picture. Last is the scientific inquiry part of biology. So these are testing hypotheses, making hypotheses, stuff like that. So, how to make a hypothesis is by looking at evidence and data shown and then coming up with a good educated guess. Deductive reasoning makes predictions that can be used to test hypotheses. These hypotheses are tested in controlled experiments, and they're designed to demonstrate the effect of one variable on a control group and experimental groups and seeing if there's a difference in between them. Scientific theory is very broad in scope, generates new hypotheses, and is supported by a large amount of evidence. So those are mostly accepted. Theories are mostly accepted. Technology is also sometimes used to apply scientific knowledge to a specific purpose that affects society. That would be like a microscope. Diversity among scientists promotes progress in science. Good luck on the AP exam.